What's up, guys? I'm Jacob. You're watching the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. We're going to have some crap video quality today, as well as a pretty unplanned video here. But, and also probably some pretty crappy focus as compared to my good camera. Stop it, Dak. Stop it. I was just using this hinderer today that a friend and subscriber so graciously sent to me to borrow. And I was thinking, man, this thing really doesn't cut as well as it was, or as well as I would expect it to. And I just dropped it up a little bit and I started looking at it. And the behind the edge thickness is like a lot thicker than I would have expected. And I just don't understand. And I like this knife. So, I have a video on YouTube called Rick Hinder is a Wanker, so I'm not going to be too honest at this point so far yet. But what I'll say real quick, man, I like the knife. Just the build quality and the feel of it just feels great. But I tried stropping it up. I was looking at the behind the edge thickness, and it feels a little bit dull. But I'm sitting here thinking, I guess it's not going to show this, but if you're one of these knife nerds, you know it to be true. The edge on this Kershaw leak, which isn't the best example, is the behind the edge thickness is by far thinner than the hinderer. And a bunch of you are already saying, of course it is, XYZ. Let's talk about this, okay? So a better example for this is a knife that I actually don't have. It's the Kershaw Link. It's an American-made knife in 420 HC that I think sells for under $40, or at least it did when I got it. It's nothing in build quality, attention to detail, or fit and finish compared to this hinderer overall. But the edge thickness, like the Kershaw Leak, is very, 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 very thin. And so what I really don't understand when it comes to steels is I've had good experiences with CPM 20 CV and with M390. But the market, this is true. The market is following stainlessness and edge retention and a balance of those things and toughness. But let's talk about 420 HC real quick, because we all laugh about 420 HC, right? If this knife was 420 HC, nobody'd want it, nobody would pay for it. So the Kershaw Link and 420 HC, look at Dr. Thomas's steel rating charts. 420 HC is vastly tougher, like by far tougher than CPM 20 CV by an order of magnitude. It's basically as tough, or maybe even a little bit tougher than CPM 3V. It's way more stainless than 20 CV if memory serves. Maybe it's not, call me out, don't care. And no matter what, and nobody's going to argue that it's so much easier to sharpen, it's not even comparable. So, and again, according to Dr. Thomas, 420 HC holds an edge as well as, if not slightly better than 1095. And so, and maybe my folder guys, if I have any folder guys, maybe you don't understand that reference because maybe you don't use 1095 that much, but all of the fixed blade guys get it, okay? So here's what I don't get. You've got a good steel, a phenomenal steel for edge holding, for a balance of performance, but then you put a thick edge on it because it's a working knife for hard use. But people want to buy it, and they think that anything lower than their whatever they choose for their current flavor of the day, anything lower than that, sucks. Okay? So if you have, BTE, behind the edge thickness, especially you folder guys should know all about this more so than fixed blade guys. At the end of the day, it's like one of the most important things. You want the newest, best edge holding steel, whatever the coolest flavor is that's also super corrosion resistant, but then you put a thicker edge on it so that it is tough enough, because it's not a very tough steel. So then you feel like you lose your factory edge faster as compared to how you would with a proper edge thickness that's going to slice right, because you want a tougher steel, but you won't use a tougher steel with proper edge geometry that would cut better even when dull, because you think you need a knife that's tough enough, but also it's got to be the newest, coolest thing. Like, what the crap is going on? The folder market's just freaking weird, guys. Like, people will argue all day about detents and behind the edge thickness and steels and frame lock versus liner lock versus shark lock versus triad lock or whatever. Everybody's arguing about plunge lines and this and edge centering and this and that and the other, but like, what's driving the market besides marketing? I can't tell you how many times every single day I see, I like that knife, but why are they still using this steel? Let me tell you right now. My Hogue EXF02, whatever the heck it is, I can never remember whether it's EX02 or EXF02, not in CPM 154, but in 154 CM, has held an edge longer than this knife in 20 CV and is 1,000 times easier to sharpen, and it's still a heavy use knife. And here's the other thing I don't understand. You want the newest, coolest steel, right? But this CPM 20 CV could be sharpened way up high in the hardness range, but you temper it down to like 58 to 60 or whatever it is that you do to keep the toughness. Like, everything is a contradiction. Why? The folder, it's just weird. All right, so check this out. I guess you're not going to be able to see it super well, but I already talked about the Kershaw. We're already done with that. Who cares, right? Whatever. Look at this thing. Freaking Half-Breed Blades LBF, large bush folder, and S35 VN. It is hollow ground. It is a liner lock. Oh, I would never use a liner lock. Whatever. Edge thickness. You're not gonna be able to see it. I don't even know why I'm trying to do this. It's either about similar, or it's thinner. To my eye, it looks thinner. And I was actually thinking about going and buying a micrometer to actually measure this, but I'm just gonna do this video because my viewers aren't folder guys anyways. But this knife right here, an S35 VN, might not be practical, but I take this thing into the woods and beat on it like hard use knife, and it's hollow ground, and it cuts better than the Hinderer, and it's way easier to sharpen. Like, I strop this thing not very much, and it's just taking hair off like crazy. Part of the problem with this might be that little bit of recurve, but even the belly and tip wasn't wanting to come back. Maybe Transparent Knives is onto something with the heat treat stuff. Rick, don't sue me for making this video. I don't know if that's really what we need to come to, but I'm sitting here. I have taken pre-workout. I was doing my workout, and I realized that the Hinderer wasn't slicing like I thought it should. And I started trying to strop it, and I got a little bit more edge back. And then I looked at it, and I was like, why? What? All right, so the folder market, guys, I understand marketing. I own businesses. You have to market things. You have to have things to talk about, to advertise, to get people to buy, right? I get it. Let's your bearings, okay? Bro, My knife rides on full ceramic bearings. It's so cool. Why is it cool? Ceramic bearings are smoother and more corrosion resistant. Do you know what a ceramic bearing is? Do you know why it exists? Why do you have ceramic bearings in your knife? Unless your race and your balls are ceramic, it's really not more corrosion resistant because something's still going to corrode in there. It's not faster. It's not smoother. It's by far weaker. By far weaker. Ceramic bearings exist to minimize heat at extreme speed for long duration. Like coming from longboards, I understand a little bit more of this, right? And I wish that, I guess, we all did. I only use a knife. Does it have ceramic bearings? I'm sorry, I'm not even interested. It's more expensive, so it's better. Guys, stop it. It's freaking weird. It's dumb. I don't like this thumb stud on this knife either. I love the flipper. Don't really like the thumb stud. We'll talk about this more later. I don't get it. You know, I get having a nice folder. I get why this knife costs what it does. I really do. There's attention to detail here. It's a very nice knife. I do get it. It's the marketing and the ignorant people and how they deal with the marketing that just blows my mind. Why? Just why?